Let's take up some basic concepts of chemistry. First, we are taking precision and significant figures. Every measurement compares a physical quantity to be measured with some fixed standard known as unit of measurement. When we are dealing with objects which can be counted, for example, number of eggs, we get an exact number. The measurement of continuous variable, for example, measuring distances, can only be as precise as the choice of measuring operators. No matter what we do, some uncertainty always remains. The later measurement is expressed in number of digits known as significant figures. What is the difference between 2.0 gram and 2.00 gram? Though they look to be equivalent, but scientifically they are different. 2.0 gram has two significant figures, and hence its precision is zero point 0.1 part in 2, that is 50 parts per thousand, represented by ppt. 2.00 has three significant figures, and hence its precision is zero point 0.01 part in 2, that is 5 per thousand. Hence 2.00 gram is more precise measurement than 2.0 gram. How many significant figures are there in each of the following? 6.003. The correct answer is 4, because the zeros between the non-zero digits are significant figures, and this is the rule which we have applied in the above question. Second, we want to find out significant figures in 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. The correct answer is 4, because only the first term gives the significant figures, and exponential term, that is 10 to the power 23, is not considered. Next question. How many significant figures are there in 6000? Correct answer is 1, because zeros are not significant unless written in the exponential form. The given number is simply 6 into 10 to the power 3, and 6 has one digit, that's why it has only one significant figure. 0.0022. Correct answer is 2, because the zeros on the left of the first non-zero digit are not significant. Next question. In addition problems, we express the answer in the lowest number of significant figures. For example, if we want to take the sum of 16.5 plus 0.4232, after adding and rounding off, we will get 16.9, and there are three significant figures. Why we have expressed it up to three significant figures? Because lowest number of significant figures in the given questions are 3. So here 3 significant figures, because the reported sum will only be up to one decimal place having 3 significant figures. The product, same rules apply in multiplication. When you take the product of 12 into 6.335, so the answer will be taken in two significant figures, because the number with the least number of significant figures involved in the calculation is 12, and which has two significant figures. Express the following in four significant figures. Now when you want to express in four significant figure, what we do, in the first case we write 6.474. Why we are writing 6.474? Because there is 37. 37 means 7 is more than 5, and when 7 is more than 5, that is a number is more than 5, the 3 should be changed to 4. So the correct answer becomes 6.475. Same way, the next 47.3835 will become 47.38, and we have ignored the 350 because it is less than 500. Next, 60,000 will be expressed as 6.000 into 10 to the power 4. It has four significant figures. Next, 2.65886 into 10 to the power 3. If we want to express in 4 significant figures, we have to do rounding off, and rounding off it will give you 2.660 into 10 to the power 3. Next problem, 0.004787 will be expressed as it is because it already has 4 significant figures. Next topic, we are taking classification of matter. Matter is defined as anything that occupies space, possesses mass, and the presence of which can be felt by any one or more of our 5 senses. There are 2 ways of classifying matter. First is physical classification. On the basis of physical state, under ordinary conditions of temperature and pressure, matter is classified as solid, liquid, or gas. Chemical classification. Based on the chemical nature, matter can be classified as element, compound, and mixture. Now, what is an element? An element is defined as pure substance that contains only one kind of atoms. It is a simpler substance and it cannot be broken into simpler substances. A compound is a pure substance containing 2 or 3 elements combined together in a fixed proportion and which can be decomposed or broken down into its constituting elements by suitable chemical method. Mixture. A material which contains 2 or more substances which may be elements or compounds in any proportion is called mixture. How do we separate mixture? Since the properties of mixture are the average of the properties of its component and every component has characteristic properties of its own, hence based on the properties in which each component differ from the other components, the mixture can be separated into its components by the following technique. The first, filtration. Second, simple distillation. Third, fractional distillation. Fourth, differential extraction. Fifth, fractional crystallization. Sixth, gravity separation. Seventh, magnetic separation. Eighth, sublimation. Ninth, chromatography. 10th, electrophoresis. And last, ultracentrifugation. Let's take up laws of chemical combination. One of the most important aspects of chemistry is the study of chemical reactions. These take place according to certain laws. The first law we are taking, law of conservation of mass. It was discovered by Lavoisier. It states matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. In all physical and chemical changes, the total mass of reactants must be equal to total mass of products. That is the reason that we balance each and every chemical reaction. Let's take up numerical based on law of conservation of mass. 4.7 gram of KClO3, that is potassium chlorate, when heated produced 1.84 gram of oxygen and residue KCl left behind weighed 2.84 gram. Show that the results are in accordance with the law of conservation of mass. First, we write the balanced equation. 2 KClO3 gives you 2 KCl plus 3 O2. The weight of KClO3 taken is 4.7 grams and total weight of products will be equal to 2.84 plus 1.84 is equal to 4.68 grams. Difference between the weight of reactant and the total weight of products, 4.70 minus 4.68, which is 0.02 gram. This small difference may be due to experimental error. Therefore, law of conservation of mass holds good within experimental error. Let's take up next, law of constant composition or definite proportion. A chemical compound is always found to be made up of same elements combined together in the fixed proportion by weight. In other words, that compounds prepared by any method will have the same elements in the fixed ratio by weight. Let's take up numerical based on this. 6.498 gram of lead combines directly with 1.0035 gram of oxygen to form lead monoxide. Lead monoxide is also produced by heating lead nitrate, and it was found that the percentage of oxygen present in lead monoxide is 13.39%. Use this data to illustrate the law of constant composition. First step is to calculate percentage of oxygen in the first experiment. So weight of lead monoxide formed will be equal to weight of lead, that is 6.498 gram, plus weight of oxygen 1.0035 gram, which is equal to 7.5015 gram. Now 7.5015 gram of lead monoxide is formed, which contains 1.0035 gram of oxygen. 100 gram of lead monoxide will contain 1.0035 divided by 7.5015 into 100, it will be equal to 13.38 gram of oxygen. So percentage of oxygen will be 13.38. Second step, to compare the percentage of oxygen in both the experiments, percentage of oxygen in lead oxide in the first experiment is 13.38 and percentage of oxygen in lead oxide in second experiment is 13.38. Since the percentage composition of oxygen in both the samples of lead monoxide is identical, the above data illustrate the law of constant composition.